Welcome back to UNLV Rebuild. This episode we're going to try something a little bit different, and rather than playing our standard 3 games that we've been doing, BYU, Cincinnati, and Kansas State, we're actually just going to finish out the rest of the schedule and get to hopefully the conference championship. We're looking really good to do so, being undefeated so far. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer one. Hopefully see a little bit more player development along with some more recruiting updates. We left off last episode talking about how this is the biggest game of the rebuild so far. We are up to the 10th ranked team in the country, taking on number 5 BYU at BYU and Provo. So this would be a big win for us and hopefully continue to boost our championship contender, which is a big pro for our 5-star quarterback we're going after. You can see here, BYU, we are 79s across the board. You can't see that because of the face cam, but we're 79 all 3. BYU is 84 all 3, so they have a semi-significant advantage in this game. I'd say it does play a big factor, just a couple points. So we'll see how we're able to do against them, and we'll get right into it. We do get the ball to start the game here. We'll get off the opening play. Great catch and throw for Reynolds. That's a first down. Going with the same running back strategy as the last couple of games. Just really keeping an eye on our guys, trying to keep them healthy as Bo is stuffed up there. And this might be another game where we're really going to have to just try and win it through the air, making good passes, good reads. That should have come open. Unfortunately, the angle route, the Texas route from the running back kind of actually got in the way and hindered picking up the first down. See if Camacho can get out, and we just don't lead him quite enough. We're gonna have to punt on our opening drive. We are able to force a short BYU punt. We get the ball here at midfield. This should be our toughest game of the rebuild. Great game from Bo there. That's a pickup of about 17. Just gonna hit the running back, slipping out, try and get that block from Reynolds, our tight end. That's another first down. Go back to the ground game here with Bo. Good little hole, get a juke back, get us all the way down to the 3-yard line. Gonna go right back to him here, first and goal. See if we can sneak through. That backside tackle is made. We do get down to the 1. We're gonna run QB blast here with Colandrea, just try to sneak right up the middle and get a touchdown to take the lead. Block shed there from their star defensive tackle, 3rd and goal. We're gonna look to pass the ball. We're gonna hit Higdon. That'll be a touchdown. Take a 7-0 lead, barring the extra point. Another BYU punt gets us the ball back. That run's going to be stuffed up for a loss of 1. We'll get Williams in this drive. Don't want to overwork Bo, and that's going to be another loss of 1 on back-to-back run plays. Try and pick it up through the air here. Hit that hole in the middle of the linebackers. Great catch by Camacho. Led that pass perfectly. That pass right there, unfortunately, is one that gets picked off a lot when the linebackers just make really good plays. I'm gonna go through the air again. Didn't quite have enough time. We almost got it off. Brings up 2nd and 10. Just gonna hit Camacho working over the middle. He'll get close to the first down. 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 here might be a chance to take a shot to the end zone. I'm just gonna hit a nice little safe pass underneath to get the first down. Got a free play here, so we're going to try and hit Camacho. Not quite able to hit him. We saw them lined up offside, so we just took a shot downfield. He is slow, but he was the only receiver we kind of had going all the way down the field. Brings us to 1st and 5, 47 seconds left here in the first quarter. Get that over the linebacker. Great catch by our tight end. Despite throwing a number of interceptions this season, Colandrea overall has been very accurate as we get a gain of 7 there on the ground. I've been quite impressed with his development and improvement. We get a first down there, bring it within the 5. One of our offensive linemen is injured on the play. That one was tough. Looked like he should have been open. I feel like that's another one where the linebacker just makes an exceptional play. I maybe threw it a little bit too late, but had to wait till he cleared out from the DBs. We're going to wiggle with Williams to the outside, and that's another touchdown on the ground. That should give us a 14-point lead if we can get the extra point. After another BYU punt, we get the ball back again. Sheds off our left guard. And Williams played really well that last drive. We're going to get Bo back in. Just trying to kind of rotate these guys. We're going to try to hit him on a pass, and we just missed him. Should have been wide open. Maybe should have stopped a little bit more there. Set our feet and thrown. We'll bring up 3rd and 9. Try and pick it up here through the air. Camacho's going to be open over the middle field. Makes a great catch. Gets down to the 40, and that's a first down. I do like Camacho's potential. Hopefully, if we can put a lot of points into upgrading his speed this offseason, he can be a really good slot option for us. Better than he's even been. It's a good rush there from Bo. This one they're going to swarm to us and make it a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and 11. Just going to hit Higdon. Makes a great catch for a first down. Against this look, I think this little tight end slip screen could work really well. Just didn't quite have enough time to get it out there. 2nd and 10 here. Hit Irvin, just threw it a little bit too far outside. I actually don't really, I don't mind that throw there. It was maybe slightly too far outside, but we'd rather have that than make an interception. And we're going to take a massive sack. We'll go for a 51-yard field goal. We are in the middle of the field. It should be about perfect. That will give us a 17-0 lead after the sack. BYU does answer with a field goal of their own. 2-yard gain on the ground for Bo. And we're going to keep him in this drive as well. He only got maybe 1 or 2 touches last drive. Unless something happens injury-wise where he looks like he's starting to take a beating. Colandrea up the middle for a gain. Brings us down to 3rd and 1. We're going to get the ball back to Bo here. They're going to swarm to us. Really had nowhere to go. Probably trust the passing game a little bit more. BYU does answer with a touchdown. So our lead is down to just 7 points. Getting pressured there. I thought Irvin had a step. He didn't really. Makes a diving catch. Huge play down the sideline. Irvin got just enough space to make a diving catch over a bigger defender. And once again, he's kind of our boomer bust guy. That was a 50-yard reception. Great little route by Higdon. Just kind of pause there in the gap. Take us to 2nd and 1. Try and pick it up on the ground here. And we'll get forward just enough to get the first down. BYU calls a timeout, 1:20 left in the first half. Going to hit Higdon working over the middle. That's going to be a touchdown for him as he works across and gets us back to a 14-point lead. BYU, unfortunately, left a little bit too much time on the clock. They went down and scored right before half. We'll just take a knee and go into halftime, up 7, but they do get the ball. I was actually mistaken. We get the ball to start the second half here. So we will look to extend our lead. That's probably why, and that ball's way misthrown. But that's probably why the coach's suggestion was to go for it, as we'll hit Jackson just over the middle here. That'll be a pickup of a first down. And we're moving the ball pretty well here against BYU. Camacho with a great catch and broken tackle. Hurdles over our own guy. Gonna get Jackson out after this play. Just really had no hole there. 2nd and 10. Gonna try to hit Higdon working over. They stayed, defensive coverage was really good there. Couldn't really find anything. Just going to get Williams the ball and probably play for 3. Should have had a hole there, but shed off the block pretty easily. Another great kick if it has the distance, and it does. That's another 50-plus yard field goal in this game. Our kicker's actually pretty good. We were able to upgrade him quite a bit in the offseason, and I think he's just a redshirt freshman. After another BYU punt, we have the ball back up 10. Tried to scramble around right there, and Colandrea is actually hurt as well. Just didn't really have anything. Just going to hit Reynolds over the middle. get us a gain of 10 out down to 3rd and 5. Just back spasms for Colandrea. He should be back soon. We're going to keep him out for now. Try and hit our running back out of the backfield. He's going to get us the first down, even though he took a massive hit there. We're going to get Jones into the game after this play. No way. That was a contested throw. I have no idea how he intercepted that. A one-handed interception. Pulling it out of our receiver's arms. Don't know if I've ever seen that before. Incredible play by number 5, Scott. Which, I mean, yeah, it's a contested throw. You try and possession catch there, come back to the ball, and then he just, one hand, his other hand kind of morphs through his body and somehow gets the interception. So kudos to him. Colandrea is looking a little banged up. BYU does go get down and get a touchdown. And that throw needs to be made. We had him open. This might be a situation where we're just going to put Wiggins in. We're going to get Bo back in, even though he's a little bit banged up. Even though Jones has a good hold there, gets us a first down. We're only up 3 after having a really commanding lead in this game. Wiggins, redshirt freshman, is going to have to probably finish it out for us with how badly Colandrea is injured. But the run game's really working right there, as Bo gets a gain of about 12 or 13. We're going to keep an eye on his injury update. If he drops too far, we're going to pull him out again, even though that's another gain of 10 plus. And we're just going to stick with that for now. We really need a touchdown on this drive to get back to a 10-point lead. And Bo slips out there, gets us down inside the 5-yard line. He's up to 100 yards on the ground. We haven't thrown a screen pass all game. I think Wiggins definitely has the capability of doing that. So we're just going to flip it out, see if the blocking can hold up, and it does. That's a touchdown for Bo through the air. Bo knows touchdowns, and we are back to a 10-point lead and hopefully a commanding stance in this game. We have the ball back here at the very start of the 4th quarter. We are still up 10. Gonna try and hit Reynolds. Tight window, 2nd and 4. It's a great throw by our freshman quarterback, Dom Wiggins. Depending on how good if we can get the 5-star recruit, which there's a loss on that play, but depending on how good he is, Dom Wiggins should be, I mean, there probably aren't many quarterbacks. Well, there's a safety and an injury to Dom Wiggins on the fumble. Tried to roll out and just did not have the space or the time. BYU goes down and gets a touchdown, decreasing our lead to 2 points, and Dom Wiggins is going to die on the field, so we have no choice but to go to Ochoa. Good little route by Reynolds there. Gets to the outside. We're really in shambles here. Hopefully Bo can stay in the game and get us some good carries. It's another gain of 10 plus, and we just need to kind of try to whittle this one away. We're down to our last quarterback. Our running backs are injury prone. It could be an iffy situation here. Set Camacho over the middle. He'll get a nice gain up to a first down. And we're just trying to work off as much clock as possible at this point. Block shed there. Had the right read. This play looks like there could be a little bit more space. We are down to about 4 minutes left in the game. That'll be a first down for Bo. Probably going to have to get him out here. Williams is heavily banged up as well, so we will get Jones back into the game. Bo's going to fight forward for 4 more yards. We're actually going to run another screen pass here. 2nd and 6. 3 minutes left in the game. Good little hit there. Broken tackle, fights forward for a first down, and that's going to be a first timeout for BYU. We're up currently by 2 points. and that's going to fight in for a touchdown for Jones on the ground. That should be a 9-point lead. We force a turnover on downs, so we are up 8. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at the plays after this to see. I don't know if I just did the math wrong last time or if we missed the extra point. Oh, we missed the extra point. So, we have an 8-point lead, which technically gives BYU a chance as they take their second timeout. Hopefully, we should be able to get a field goal from here and take an 11-point lead and really salt this one away, or just run the clock all the way out. Oh, they will charge BYU a timeout for that injury. So that will be their final timeout. If we can get a first down here, I think that should be the game. And we do. Jones, a nice little run up the middle. A big run, actually. Found a little hole there. And we should be able to knee this one out, go into victory formation. It was an interesting game, hard fought. We beat the best team that we've played so far in this rebuild. We did have to sacrifice a little, though. We have some major injuries in our quarterback room. Dom Wiggins shouldn't be too big of an issue, even if he's hurt semi-long term, because he is redshirting this year regardless. But he's kind of our backup option. If Colandrea is majorly hurt, we might be in trouble there. For our quarterbacks, we had 3 of them play today. Colandrea, 2 touchdowns, 221 yards on only 14 completions, so fairly big game for him. Ochoa played all right, 4 for 5, did end up with that interception, which to me was still a little bit crazy. And then Dom Wiggins was 3 for 3, played really well, got us a touchdown. It doesn't look like any of these guys are hurt for after the game, but we'll take a look as well. On the ground, we had a really good game with Bo Jackson. Everyone else was kind of mediocre. Didn't end up getting into the end zone, but had 132 yards. Probably Cameron Williams' worst game. Still got in the end zone for a touchdown. And Darian Jones obviously came in there in the end and had a really effective time running the ball. Receiving wise, Reynolds led the way again. Higdon did end up with 2 touchdowns, and Bo got a touchdown through the air. You can see Irvin only won that one big reception for 50 yards, kind of like we're coming to expect from him. Defensively, no sacks, no interceptions, no forced fumbles. So our defense, once again, kind of back to its old ways. We didn't play particularly well. Didn't play horrible either. Just need to kind of step up into these big games and get to the quarterback, force interceptions, and make a little bit of a bigger difference. But we're forcing teams into punts, playing well, so we'll take that regardless. Recruiting update here on Paul Angel. We have been surpassed by Georgia. Our week 10 visit, I think it's week 9 right now, could either come perfectly in time, but Georgia has such a higher pipeline. I mean, you can see they're getting way more progress week to week, so we might be so far out of it by the time we get to our visit that we might not have a chance. His deal breaker is championship contender. So if Georgia falls off, we may be able to. If we don't get him, if we are in the race and we don't get him after the visit week, we have no chance because Georgia does have a week 11 visit. We are into first place with a couple of the receivers that I added to the board late. The big ones over here, the offensive tackles, are in a really good spot for Terrence Muhammad. He'll be on campus week 10 as well, and hopefully that's a win and in situation. Paris is going to be close. I'm probably not going to put a visit on him. Like we talked about, if Kentucky can't get him after their week 7 visit, I don't think they will. We should be able to get him just after this next week based on our current progress. We are in on Trevor Prince, moved up to the 4th team, but we have the biggest gain from last week to this week, so we should be close to 1st, if not definitely 2nd after next week. Still trending well for Forrest. Jalil Gayton, we should just get. No one else is even recruiting him. We might even want to right now. just to spread our points around a little bit. We'll move him down to 10. And we're going to see if we can get a soft sell going for a mecha ball and get him committed sooner rather than later. I think that's the biggest mistake we had last season, is we did not close the deal on many guys very fast. And Juan Garrett we should get after this week as well. But we kind of just left a lot of guys when we were leading on them. We kind of left them pending. So we didn't get the commitments all the way done, and then that left us a lot to do at the end of the season when we should have been able to focus a lot more on our transfer portal. So this year we want to get some more guys in on these earlier commitments. We're not even going after a ton of them, and then we're just going to kind of backfill in with everybody else. We're in decent spots on a lot of 3 stars. We should be able to bring in quite a few 4 stars as well. We are currently in position to bring in 1 5-star. Paul Angel at this point might be a foregone conclusion, but would be really awesome. The number 2 recruit in the nation. Maybe not super realistic, but we already have 1 4-star. Should hopefully be able to get Marquez Howden. So that'd be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 4-stars would be huge to add in for next year. Maybe add a couple more that are on the board and being under recruited right now. But we'll go through and look at a lot of these guys here into the future. Right now, we could even get more. 9, maybe 10 if we can get it on Prince. And then Harris is a 4-star as well. So that'd be 11. A lot of these receivers aren't being heavily recruited. So we have a chance to bring in double-digit 4-stars this year and a couple of 5-stars to complement that. Have maybe one of the top classes in the country, despite only having 450 hours. I think that's the best way to do it, is start the season on these higher, better players. Pull out early if we know we have no chance. Paul Angel right now is kind of on the brink of that, but we've been recruiting him long enough that I think we should stay in on it. We, at least until the visit week, we have a visit with him. We spent the points, and then backfill in after with the 3 stars and the under recruited 4 stars, and then the portal you kind of just cap everything off with. We do have 7 skill points for Colandrea. We're going to use 6 of those on elusiveness. Double check his health, and he is a little bit down. We'll look at hopefully this game against Cincinnati should be a little bit easier for him and kind of just keep him more in the pocket. Bo can't get any meaningful upgrades with those 3 points. We're just going to kind of go through everybody and see if we can get anything that should be impactful here. We are going to be able to get 50-50, just bronze for Daejon Reynolds. Should help a little bit with some of those contested jump balls that he is in those situations fairly often. So before we get into this game against Cincinnati, you can see that we have moved up to the number 5 team in the country. We basically just took BYU's place. We should have a fairly easy time. We are equally ranked with Cincinnati here, and depending on how it goes, we might just, and depending on what Colandrea looks like, we might get him out for majority of the game. Hopefully we can get a lead early and then get him some well-needed rest. After a Cincinnati punt, we do get the ball here. Give it off to Bo for a 4-yard gain. Does look like health-wise, Colandrea is looking okay, but we're still going to look to definitely avoid hits. It's a first down run from Bo. We'll go back to him again. Fights through to get a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 here. Gonna get the ball through the air to Reynolds. Through maybe a little behind him, gets us to 3rd and 2. The way the defense looks here, I think Reynolds should be open, which he wasn't really. Another punt from Cincinnati gets us the ball back to our offense. Bo breaks out for a nice run, gain of about 13. We're actually going to get Bo out of the game after that one. Just give him a little bit of a breather. Missed that throw. 2nd and 10 here. Just gonna have to get the ball out. Colandrea did take a little bit of a hit. Williams fights forward to make it 3rd and 1. And a little QB blast. Does get us the first down. No one can hear any adjustments. So we're just going to stick with this play action pass. Needed X to keep going. He didn't. We lose one. Not sure why he just stopped in the middle of the field right next to a defender, but that's what he decided to do. 2nd and 11 here. Hit Camacho coming across the middle. Minimal gain of 4. 3rd and 7. We'll look to convert. Camacho is going to be open over the middle again. I'm going to spin back. Get us the first down. Watch this safety here. He's going to go with him. And we overthrow. I'm not sure where these overthrows are coming from all of a sudden. We haven't really had that issue all season until like the last 3 games. No one blocked that linebacker. Bring us to 3rd and 13. Try and get around the outside. I tried to actually do a spin move there, but ends up just being kind of a throwaway, and we are going to punt. We force another Cincinnati punt. Williams, we're going to wiggle up the middle here. We're actually going to get Bo in after this play. 2nd and 1. Might try to take a shot here. Could see Irvin getting open depending on where that safety goes. We're going to throw it up to him. He has a step, makes a great catch, does get tackled down at the 9. Huge throw and catch for Irvin from our quarterback Colandrea. And that's 2,010 passing yards this season. Going to get the ball to Bo here on the ground. Good little juke back. Almost had the pickup of a good block there. Reynolds is going to make that great 50-50 catch in the middle of the field. That's going to be a touchdown. Good little comeback route. 7-0 lead, and after another Cincinnati punt, we have the ball back here. We're going to get it to Laster. Makes a good little catch there. Gain of 7. Might look to hit Irvin again. Just going to watch the safety. If he's one-on-one with the corner, which he's not. And we're just overthrowing that pass. That specific pass right there, I think we've overthrown 3 or 4 times in the last 2 games. Let's see if we can hit it on this one to Reynolds. Good catch, gain, take us down to the first down. And those are there quite frequently, so we do need to be able to hit those. Just going to take off with Colandrea. Take a little bit of a hit there and get out of bounds. Still looking good injury-wise. Bo, great little sneak up through the middle. It's going to be an injury to our offensive line. Get him the ball again. Great block there from our pulling guard. Another gain of about 11. And then a little play action slide play here. We're going to get totally blown up. All right, tackle just watches us get eaten alive. Bring up 2nd and 18. No one's working this way. Colandrea doesn't quite have the speed, but we will get it down to 3rd and 2. Great scramble there. And actually, instead of an outside toss, we're going to run this right at that gap on the left side. Bo's going to wiggle forward, fight through, gets a touchdown. Bo knows touchdowns. That's another touchdown on the ground for our starting running back, Bo Jackson. Believe it or not, Cincinnati punts again. We're up 14-0 with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left here in the first half. Our offensive line is constantly getting injured. Little bubble screen there, gain of about 1, but does get us the first down. And keep Bo in for this drive. Good little run up the middle for about 12. And they're kind of just letting Bo do whatever he wants to do. Cut that one back up the middle. Another gain of about 13, 14 yards. We're going to keep it on the ground again. Just under 2 minutes left here in the first half. Gain of 4. And we're just going to stay on the ground. I'm totally content to, at this point, take a 17-0 lead into halftime. That brings Bo Jackson over 100 yards rushing for the game. 3rd and 2. He's going to have to fight forward. Makes it 4th and inches. And we're going to go for it here. Our offensive line is blocked pretty well so far in this game. Good little cutback from Bo. Read that well. They kind of just read the hole and stuck in it, but he was able to make the right read. And we're just going to keep running the ball, running this clock down. Don't want Cincinnati to get the ball back and have a chance at a touchdown unless we get an easy walk-in touchdown here. Another injury to our offensive line. And it looks like Bo's a little bit banged up on that one. Gonna hit Camacho on this quick out. Good little grab there, 3rd and 1. We do bring in Cameron Williams. This 3rd and 1, we're just going to do a quarterback blast to get us a first down. We're pretty much just running inside zones here. Just trying to get working the ball down the field, and it's been very efficient and effective. At this point, we will try to get a touchdown for sure, but we're not pressing too hard. We're going to play here, and if we don't get in, we're going to call a timeout. Which Cameron Williams fights forward to get a touchdown on the ground. That gives us a 20-0 lead. He is invisible, and there he came back. We do get the ball to start the second half, up 21-0. We may look, like we talked about, to get Colandrea out of this game sooner rather than later. In fact, we will let Wiggins play some. He should have at least this game, maybe another one afterward. This is probably the last game we'll look to get him into, and that way we can maintain his red shirt. But I do want to see a little bit more from him. That's a great throw there to Camacho, getting us a first down. And it is going to be a lot of running the ball up here, 21-0. So we may not see a ton of passes from him, which is fine. We want to protect him either way. Williams has a good rush there, gets us down to 3rd and 2. And keep the ball on the ground. Does fight forward for the first down. We're going to let Wiggins let one fly here. Got lurked by the linebacker. I thought he was going with the other receiver. He came back. Another Cincinnati punt gets us the ball right back. We are backed up deep into our own side of the field. Irvin should have had a step, but just couldn't quite get past his man. I thought we had him there. It looked like he got out there, but the corner got positioned back. Reynolds a good catch there to make it 3rd and 4. It's a second fumble and safety caused by Dom Wiggins. And that time, rather than a punt, Cincinnati missed a field goal. So we'll go back to the ground game a little bit. Dom does need a little bit more refinement, I think, before playing a major role, obviously. He maybe could have started for us this year in a pinch, but I'm glad he hasn't had to, especially for the amazing season that we've had. 3rd and 11 here. We're going to let Dom try and throw the ball again. That one should be open. Just can't quite catch. It's a small window. Good throw to get it in there. Couldn't quite hold on to the ball. Not even sure which receiver that was. Really good punt. Down to the 15. And Cincinnati does get their first offensive points with a touchdown. Bo Jackson does get hurt on that play, so we are going to bring in Jones. They're really selling out for the run right now. 3rd and 10 here. I'd like to hopefully get a first down. That corner stayed in really good position, and Irvin's hurt as well, so we are getting fairly beat up. Another Cincinnati punt. I think. Maybe not. I'll have to look and see what the play was, because I don't know how we got the ball here. I thought it said it was a punt. Unknown penalty. Pass for, maybe it was a turnover on downs. 2nd and 7 was a pass for 9 yards. Not sure what happened here. Maybe they'll tell us in the play history. Yeah, I have no idea how we got the ball back. That seems a little bit confusing. In the sim, but I guess we'll take it. Try and punch it in here. I was going to say if we do allow another score, we might need to get Dom Wiggins out of the game and get Colandrea back in. And there's an injury for Darian Jones. So our running backs are just falling apart. Bo Jackson is back in the game. Going to put Williams back in after this play. He fights forward to about the inch line, 4th and goal. We are going to run a QB blast with Dom Wiggins and potentially get his first rushing touchdown of his career. And we do. He sneaks over the line. That's a touchdown for our redshirt freshman quarterback. Another turnover on downs from Cincinnati. If that last one, that's what it was, I still don't know. They are swarming the run as they should be. We'll probably start chewing clock here just to get out of this game. And we have the same problem, missing that throw. I'm not sure why overthrowing those so much. Maybe need to throw them a touch earlier. And that's going to be another interception. Tight end just got super hung up on the defense. And another running back injury. Turnover on downs for Cincinnati. Story of the game, punts and turnover on downs. Our running backs are in shambles. We might have to get Moon in here just to have someone to run the ball with. Looks like Jones is back. We're going to try to avoid Moon if at all possible. Good pass to Camacho. Good little catch by him, and that's a first down. We will turn on chew clock and just try to get out of here with no more injuries is really the main objective. We should get the win. There's a good run by Jones. But the injuries are piling up, and that could be an issue for us, especially with our running backs. Our running back room is solid but thin. Should be down to the 2-minute timeout after this play. Good little run by Jones. Gain of 7. Go back to him here. Gets us a first down. We'll probably just look to run this one out. Should be the last play of the game. Unless Cincinnati randomly calls a timeout. But we will just kick this. We won't even kick it. We're just going to let the time expire. It'll be a 28-9 win. Did really well against Cincinnati. Scored 21 in the second quarter. Our defense held up really well. Injury report could be rough. We'll have to take a look at it. For our stats, you can see Colandrea 10 of 15 for a touchdown. Wiggins looked good at times, but also threw 2 interceptions and only 50% completion. On the ground, 133 yards and a touchdown for Bo. Cameron Williams added a touchdown of his own, as did Dom Wiggins. It looks like no one is injured, which is a good sign. Through the air, pretty balanced between Camacho, Reynolds. 1 touchdown for Reynolds through the air. It was a slower passing game for sure. We definitely ran the ball more. Defensively, a couple TFLs. Really want to get our freshman elite dev player. I'm not remembering his name right now. It's like he's not even on the scouting report. But would really like to get him back into being on the stat sheet. Hopefully we have big things to come from him in the future. We did finally get an interception. It's been a while. Quentin Taylor gets an interception. He's only a sophomore, so we maybe have some good potential with him into the future. A forced fumble as well by Terrell Brewington, which we did not recover. No blocks, no safeties, no touchdowns. We do get a 4-star commitment from Juan Garrett, a 4-star corner. Should probably be an instant starter next season. And that is it so far. We'll get a quick recruiting update here afterward. Georgia has passed us on Paul Angel. It's gonna have to take a huge visit here. Our championship contender somehow went down after that last game. We were at an A, we're at an A-. That being said, Kansas State's also considered a lower tier opponent, so that does not help us by any means. We do have Terrence Muhammad on campus for a complimentary visit. I really don't see it happening. We're going to leave the points on for this week, but Georgia wanted him, decided they wanted him. He's from Georgia. He's probably going to Georgia. Are, however, looking really good on Terrence Muhammad. I don't think he'll commit after this visit week, but we should have a big enough lead on Cal that week 11 visit shouldn't hinder us. Should be able to bring him into the class. We are in a recruiting battle with Kentucky. I think we should be able to outlast them. If we wanted to get him on a visit, if we need to, I guess week 13 we could do so. Moving up on Trevor Prince, we should be neck and neck with Nebraska on him. Are into the top 5 on Joel Forrest, and we're going to do the same thing that we talked about with a couple of the other players. We've been recruiting him so long. He is a 4-star. We're just going to go ahead and hard sell him and get his commitment sooner rather than later, and then move into recruiting other players. Joel Gayton, we have such a big lead on. We're just going to leave 10 on him for now. We're going to do the same thing with Emeka Ball. He's only a 3-star, but he should play for us. So we're going to go ahead and hard sell him as well. And that leaves us 10 hours, which we can either, well, let's actually look at this safety. Marquez Howden, we need to get on a visit. So we need to free up 15 points, which we're going to have to do that from our corner. Emeka Ball, we're actually going to switch this back to a soft sell, and then we are going to get Marquez Howden on campus week 12 against Arizona, and that leaves us with 5 hours. We'll add back onto Emeka Ball. So just taking a look at this, we are the number 18 team in recruiting in the country. Cincinnati's ahead of us, but they also have twice as many commitments. Other than that, we are the top team in the Big 12. The most interesting thing to me is we are competing for a quarterback with Georgia, and they already have a 5-star quarterback commit in this class. I guess you can never have too much, but that's a little bit interesting. On that same note, this week we have 2 visits, one with Terrence Muhammad, a 5-star right tackle who would be our first 5-star commitment of the rebuild, along with Paul Angel, who there's a chance, I don't know if it's an amazing chance, but there's a chance we can get him. We got a visit for Howden in week 12, and hopefully we can go show these 2 offensive players what UNLV football is about. I hope to maintain our undefeated season, and we can beat Kansas State here at home. We do get the ball here on the opening drive. That's finally a good pass to Reynolds on that little crossing play, the little mesh. Get the ball to Bo here on the ground. Pretty good block from our receiver. That's a gain of about 11. We'll go right back to him on an inside zone. Great little cut back. It's another gain of 11. Just going to keep going back to the well here. That one was blown up. Reynolds couldn't quite get the block. Still got 5 yards. We're going to go back to the passing game on this play. Good route by Reynolds. Good throw with anticipation there from Colandrea. Run another mesh play here. Should have hit RB. Tried to throw the ball away, just couldn't quite get it. Massive sack there. Takes us to 2nd and 26. Throughout a sack, conveniently goes right to their linebacker. It's going to be another interception. We do get an interception of our own from cornerback Andrew Powdrell to get us the ball back here. Good little run there by Bo. Nice wiggle to the outside, a gain of about 15. Really need to capitalize on this drive. It's probably going to be pass interference. I'm not sure what Irvin was doing there on that comeback route. He never really came back. I'm going to stay on the ground here. Nice little cutback lane, gain of 4. I'm going to run a screen pass to Bo. Just try and sneak him out the outside. Get 1 block there. Didn't really work. 3rd and 5. Just going to try a run play. And we will sneak into the end zone. Bo knows touchdowns. That's a lead for us. After interception from us, then them. We trade interceptions, and we get a touchdown on this drive on the ground with Bo Jackson. Kansas State goes down and gets a touchdown of their own to tie the score. Run up the middle, a gain of 5. We are going to get Bo out of the game after this play. Work forward for no gain. Probably ran the wrong direction on that play. All of our routes were going to the other side of the field. Once again, no one's getting open. We're not getting any separation. We take another sack. We aren't having the cleanest pockets. That time we stayed in it a little bit better. We do force a Kansas State punt. And that is a run of nothing. Like we're getting close. That these couple star defenders are almost throw an interception to a defensive tackle. This game has been odd to start. Just can't make a decision. And this is, once again, a blowout win would be massive here to actually get us a chance at the 5-star quarterback. Kansas State gets 3 to give them a 10-7 lead. Try and fit that in. There's just really nowhere to go. Kansas State's defense has looked really good. And we don't really have any answers. Might need to get Bo in. That was really our only offense, was just letting him run the ball. Since we took him out, we haven't really done anything. Our defense holds Kansas State to another field goal. Need to get some sort of offense going here. We're going to hit Reynolds working across the middle. There's a good first down. We're going to get Bo back in after this play. Just need his explosive ability. Bad decision. I'm just not really sure what is going on. We're not making the right reads. Throw that one away. Their defense is all over us. 3rd and 10 here. Doesn't come back to the ball. There's nowhere else to go. Gonna be a pick 6, and we're gonna beat, not quite. We stop it, but we're gonna be in trouble. Did get a touchdown. We are now down 7-20 here in the second quarter. Still early in this game. That's open finally. Good route by Irvin. Gets us down to about midfield. We've thrown 2 interceptions so far against a team that's not as good as us. At least doesn't have the same resume. Hasn't played and won as many big games as we have. We are the number 6 team in the country and getting worked a little bit as Bo breaks 2 tackles to get a gain of about 15. At least we have someone on the team that wants to win. We will need to play significantly better. And there they just read it all the way, run right up the hole, and we have nowhere to go. Same thing there. Backside defenders making the tackle on running plays. I don't know if there's anything that drives me more crazy than that. Good pass to Reynolds. Has a breakaway down the sideline. Just got enough space. We were under pressure basically instantly again. Can't wait for these new offensive linemen to come in. We should be recruiting, well, we should hopefully get 6 or 7 of them. That was yet another example of abysmal blocking. 2nd and goal here. Really need a touchdown. We need points no matter what, but a touchdown is basically a need. 3rd and 5. Run this little shock play. No one's guarding Higdon. Let's see if it stays that way. It does, but he drops the ball. We will take 3 to make it a 10-point game. And hopefully our defense can get a stop and we can get within 1 score before halftime. We are able to force a Kansas State punt. Brings us the ball back right here. Just going to lead it out for Reynolds there. Almost had it. Tough catch to make, but it did hit him in the hands. 2nd and 10. Gonna hit him again. He does catch that one right in the middle of the field. Blocking had to hold up a little bit better there. That play took a long time to develop. He got hung up on one of our other receivers, but he did work open. Gain of 4 on the ground. Instant pressure, almost threw another dumb throw out a sack pick. Don't really know what to do there because we need the yards. 3rd and 6 here. Need a first down no matter what. Gonna hit Higdon over the middle and get that first down. Once again, need a minimum of 3 points here, make it a 1-score game. If we can get a touchdown and get within 3, that would be ideal. Get the screen pass off, good blocking to the outside. Get run down at the very end, 30 seconds left. We're just gonna run a screen pass to the other direction. We do have 2 timeouts. Should be decent blocking again. Gets us down inside the 10. We're going to go ahead and call a timeout there with 20 seconds left. Hopefully we have time to run 3 plays to attempt to get a touchdown here. We're going to hit Camacho, and that will be a touchdown. Good little route from him. Great throw, just right over the middle from Colandrea. Was able to catch and run it in. It should give us just being down 3 going into halftime, which... how we started this game should be huge. First possession of the second half. Kansas State does go down and get a field goal. So we are now down 6. We're going to modify this play a little bit. And see if Irvin can't get open, and we have nowhere to go. 2nd and 20. Definitely not the start we wanted on this drive. We're going to try to hit Irvin. That safety read it pretty well. Thought we had a chance. Safety didn't start following him until all the way at the end of the play. 3rd and 20 here. Reynolds is open. We threw it behind him. Tried to get it out there. The pressure was coming. We had nowhere to go. We're going to have to punt the ball away. Our defense does hold. We are still down 6. 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Need a good drive here. Nice little run from Bo. That blocking was actually pretty decent. Gonna go right back to it. Just want to work the ball, make good decisions. No gain. They might press us here. It doesn't really look like they're going to. 3rd and 2. We're not quite to go for it territory, which we don't need to worry about it because we got the first down. Great run up the middle, gain of 8. Both Bo and Colandrea are a little bit banged up. Nothing too crazy as we get a first down on the little counter. But as long as we're getting 4 or 5 yards of rush, we're probably just going to keep the ball in Bo's hands. Maybe misread that one a little bit, but this should eventually help us open up the passing game a bit more. That's horrible blocking. We try to hit Higdon over the middle. Great catch from him, gets a little bit of separation. Does get us the first down. It's been a good drive so far. A lot of running the ball, short passes. Apparently we don't, our left tackle does not exist. I'm not sure what he could have been doing there. Reynolds makes a good catch, gets us a gain of 6 to make it 3rd and 6. Camacho was hurt a couple of plays ago, which will not help our cause. He was one of our better receivers. Hold on to it. Higdon makes a good catch there over the middle, but he's hurt on the play. It is really tough when we have a max roster size of 80 and we're only able to have 60 players. That is partially due to our recruiting or lack thereof from the previous season, and partially just due to having a ton of transfers. Camacho makes a good catch for first down, fights through a tackle, wiggles to the outside, and gets all the way down to the 1. That was a phenomenal play. I have never seen, like I said, he's tiny, but somehow made it work. We'll actually even watch the replay if they'll show us. Makes a catch, fights through a tackle, hand down, gets to the outside. Amazing play there. We'll see if Bo can punch it in and give us a 1-point lead. Can't quite get there. Bo is fairly banged up after that play. We're going to get Williams in. We're actually going to go up the middle here with him regardless. Hopefully we can get a touchdown. Nothing there. Really need a touchdown on this drive. We're just going to try to run the ball again. Can't get there. 4th and goal. Coach wants to go for it on the ground. We're going to run a pass play because we need to. Kansas State calls a timeout. Okay, 4th and goal here. We're going to hit Camacho. Makes the catch, touchdown. Huge play from him. 2 awesome plays from him on this drive to get us a touchdown and the lead, as long as we can make the extra point here. Hopefully our defense can hold. Our defense does force a punt, which gets us the ball back around midfield, up 1. Good little spin there from Cameron Williams. Gets us down to 2nd and 2, and that should take us to the 4th quarter. Start of the 4th quarter here. Up 1, 24-23 in a game really we have no business leading in. A lot of that is due to how well Bo Jackson has played today. He is out at this point and will probably remain out for, I would guess, majority of the rest of this game, if not the entire thing, as he's a little bit banged up. 2nd and 6 here. Cameron Williams is a very capable backup. That being said, Camacho has had an awesome game. That last drive, he had 2 amazing plays to get us into the end zone. Run a little slip screen here. They read it phenomenally well. 71 just following his guy around. 57-yard field goal. We may attempt, which we will. Do we have the leg? We do. 57-yard field goal. That's at least the 3rd over 50 that we've had this season. That's pretty impressive there. It gives us a 4-point lead, so hopefully our defense can get a stop and get us the ball back, which we force another punt. Hopefully we can just end this game here. We will get Jones into the game after this play. Totally blown up, loss of 3. Run a screen pass that they read like a book. And there's an injury, so that'll stop the clock. Might just try to loft it up to Irvin here. Should be one-on-one. Does he have a step? Not quite. Can't quite get away. 92 speed really is not enough to be blowing by guys, especially when they're not in press. So that's a horrible drive from us. We don't really take any time off the clock. We don't get any points. At least we didn't turn the ball over, I guess. And our defense gives up a touchdown. We do have a chance to tie or win here. 1:44 left in the game. This would be a big first loss to a team that's not as good as a lot of the teams that we've beat. There's a gain of 10 for the first down. Just gonna have to try and throw it. Instant pressure there. Had no real other options. Gonna get Jones the ball on the ground. Totally swarmed around us. That's 3rd and 9. Absolutely need a first down here. What was that? Horrendous throw from Colandrea. Threw it way behind him. That's not where we were trying to go at all. And that probably loses us the game. I guess we were able to force a punt. So that gives us a chance. 41 seconds left here. Irvin has a step. Can we get him the ball? First loss of the season comes in devastating fashion. Colandrea had a touchdown for the win. Underthrew it by about 25 feet and really had his worst game of his career. Kind of at a loss for words. 4 interceptions isn't going to win you very many games. I don't know how many of those were even my fault, realistically. I mean, some of them obviously I chose to throw the ball, but underthrowing passes consistently just kills you. Great game from Bo Jackson, completely wasted. We did get sacked a ton. There was tons of pressure. Reynolds had a pretty good game. Irvin should have probably had another 130 yards if our quarterback could get the ball to him. Defensively, no sacks yet again. 1 interception from Powdrell. A forced fumble, which we did not recover. And overall, just a fairly depressing game. What makes it worse is it was a home game with 2 big visitors. We have 0 chance for that quarterback now. Hopefully it doesn't kill our chances for the 5-star offensive tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if I was the committee. We should be unranked after this week. We probably still will be somewhere in the teens, but what an abysmal performance. We lose the Paul Angel sweepstakes. That visit did get us +2, which isn't going to get you anywhere. Hopefully we can stay in second, and then if Georgia has happened, well, Ohio State's going to pass us anyway. We're out on him completely. Terrence Muhammad, we should still be able to get. He got a +2 as well. Just highly disappointing. We're down to a B+ championship contender, which every week that goes down a little bit, we just more and more in trouble. We should outlast Kentucky for Paris. So we should be able to bring in 4 tackles, at least 3, at least 2 guards, maybe 3. Center, we should be able to get Joel Forrest. Miami is pushing. We might need to get him on a visit. Just going to take points off of Gayton for now. To hopefully secure the commitment from Joel Forrest, who could probably be our starting center or somewhere on the offensive line. Lucked out on both these linebackers. Still in a good spot for a mecha ball. Should be able to get him regardless. It's a good thing we got Howden on a week 12. We don't really have the ability to get a complimentary visit for him, unfortunately. Could have tried to get Ball, but that's 40 points on a recruit we should already get. Unless there's a really cheap visit somewhere else, but I don't think there is. We're just going to put these last 5 back on Gayton. Does put us in a tough spot. Waste of a visit for a 5-star quarterback that we were recruiting the whole season. We knew there probably wasn't an amazing chance, and that's just a super frustrating loss. I'm going to take on UCF here, going to Central Florida. Hopefully we can have a bounce back game. We're down to the number 13 team in the country. Colandrea especially needs a bounce back game after his horrendous performance. 2nd and 4. Looks like UCF had to punt us the ball and pinned us pretty deep in our own territory. Offensive line drives me crazy. The sooner we can get an offensive line, which is next season, the better. 4th and 1. We're going to go for it. Back-to-back plays. It should have been decent runs, but I have no one that can block. Almost the same story there. Bo just accelerates into the hole, and that's just kind of been the story of this rebuild. Awful offensive line play. Decent. That's only a gain of 1 there. Needed Camacho to get a little bit deeper, probably. Just nowhere to go. 3rd and 7. Camacho makes a nice catch over the middle, which does give us a 1st down. Should be able to hit Reynolds there. Makes a good catch. Fights through a couple tackles. Gets swarmed. It's only a 3-yard gain. And part of the problem when you come back to that, you're losing yards and giving the defense time to catch up to you. Well, that was 67, just got bulldozed, or else that would have probably been a big play. Is 3rd and 4. Williams is into the game, which is not a great sign. Great catch by Reynolds right there in front of the linebacker. I thought he was going to jump it again like has happened so many times to us. Stadium pulse here is going ballistic. Just kind of had to chuck the ball. Tried to get out of the pocket, but there was nowhere to go. Which maybe that's the problem. Maybe Colandrea, we just need to stay in the pocket always. Corner blitz looks like running back. Don't know where Bo was going to block no one. Should have been him picking that up. 3rd and 20. And we don't even have our fastest receiver in the game. We're going to get sacked again. Started the second quarter here. Still a scoreless game. The season has been very unusual because I feel like we're not very good, but yet we're still somehow undefeated. Well, we were 8-0. Finally lost our first game. Yet, I don't know if we've just been getting lucky and playing bad teams. Our defense has been playing above where it should be. Or what's been happening, because our offensive line, which the trenches is how you win football games. Those backside tackles are the most annoying thing in the world. Now, the trenches are how you win football games, and our offensive line has been horrible. So I don't know. Like there, we had nothing we could do. 3rd and 21. Which Irvin Jr. is back on the field, so we're just going to cast it up to him. As we get leveled and nothing. Just a punt fest here in Central Florida. Oh, Moses. Well, 2nd and 14. See if Reynolds can get out, and he does. Just got to run quick passes, I guess. Don't give our offensive line the chance to force us to lose this game. Blaster, 3-yard gain, and he's hurt. 2nd and 7 here. Camacho does not come back to the ball. UCF misses a field goal. This is the worst game I have ever been a part of. Get a little bit going with Jackson there. Blaster's hurt again. And really, we're just kind of at a loss. We're just getting... I don't even know what to say. Good pass there to Higdon. Should have hit him a little bit earlier. I was trying to watch Irvin down the field. Thought he might have had a chance, but he didn't. Get a screen pass going. Gain of 4. We're just going to run one the other way. 2nd and 6. One block. 79. That's how bad our offensive linemen are. They can't even block defensive backs. So, good luck winning a football game when your offensive lineman can't pick up a block on a DB. And your receivers go to the wrong spot. Too many first points for UCF. Pick 6. We're going to get Colandrea out of this game. And the problem might just be in the throw power. Because he has, I think, mid-80s throw power, so he just can't get the ball out fast enough. And we're going to turn the reins over to Dom Wiggins. Good little route from Camacho. There's another good route over the middle by Higdon. Fights forward to get us to 2nd and inches. And this may very well just be Wiggins' game. And depending on how next game starts, may be his job to win. Which is Tough to say after an 8-0 start, but man, his last 2 games... I was actually looking at A and pushed the wrong button. Still completed the pass at least. 2nd and 9, a minute 40 to go here in the half. There's a block 71. Can pick up a block on a corner every once in a while. And I think it may very well be a throw power issue because with Dom Wiggins, his throw power I think is in the mid to high 90s. And these balls are coming out a lot crisper. We're making the right reads. Completing. He hasn't thrown an incompletion. Swinney's into the game. And we're going to go to him. 3rd string tight end. Gets down to about the 3-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 1. We're going to go on the ground here. Bo fights forward. Tough run from him up the middle. Bono's touchdowns. Picks up our first points of the game. That makes it 7-7. We force a UCF punt. 20 seconds left. Definitely don't want to do anything dumb. Good rush up the middle. We're going to call a timeout with 14 seconds. And we're going to see if someone can just work open here. The expectations are not high. And there's another fumble from him. Call our last time out. UCF is all the way back is the biggest issue here. That and our offensive line can't block even when they're only rushing 3, which is embarrassing. Good catch by Reynolds, I guess. Doesn't really matter. That's going to be halftime. It's a really good first half from our defense. Their only points came from their defense on a pick 6, which we are tied. If our offense can figure it out a little bit, hopefully we can take control of this game. UCF is 5-4, which they're not horrible, but I would not say that they're an amazing team. And we're going to see if Irvin can't get a step here on the outside. Look at our center. He's like a revolving door. Boop. Went through our center. I mean, you can't really expect your running back to block that much, but look at our left guard. Just watch him come and kill our freshman quarterback. That was awesome. 2nd and 21. Can't hear the audible. Finally get to it. We should have him. Can Wiggins get the ball out? Just not enough space. 3rd and 21. We'll probably take a miracle here. Have no time. Higdon does make the catch. Makes it 4th and 6. We're going to go ahead and go for it here. We're at about midfield. We need some momentum. And we will pick it up with another reception from Higdon. You just have to realize that we need to get the ball out instantly. And UCF should not have that good of a pass rush. It just shows you how bad our offensive line is. Jackson's had a pretty good game. He is also staying fairly healthy. That was a little bit of an impact tackle, but we're going to get him the ball again regardless. We're going to actually get Cam Williams in after this play. Good little run up the middle. Another gain of about 14. He's up to 120 rushing yards on the game. We get a little screen pass to Reynolds here. Williams. 71. I don't. Who is 71? 71, you run to the guy. I guess you'd have to probably shove him in the back. Probably should be 67 right there. Don't know where you're going to try and get that corner that's following Camacho. But, man, he went right between Moore, and 71 has had tons of bad games. Hines, maybe? I think he's a freshman, but I might just want to replace the entire offensive line after this season. Wrong button. Interception. Trying to hit The crosser coming over the middle. I think he was open. So I was trying to hit this outside guy. Yep, trying to throw it right here. Just pushed the wrong button and ended up throwing it right into double coverage. And an interception. Touchdown for UCF. It has been a rough couple of games, to say the least. Get the ball out to Irvin. Great pass. Should be a touchdown. Finally makes it, and that might be the sole reason that Colandrea might be out of a job, because he cannot make those throws consistently enough when they are free and wide open touchdowns. We might have another one right here. Don't get the step. Still make the throw on the little zig. Higdon makes a good catch. First down. And at some point we have to consider, how much do we want to care about Colandrea? He is a multiple year starter. He has the experience. We are still hopefully going to have a chance to win the Big 12. But when do we move into developing Dom Wiggins for our future? We will definitely need to bring in at least a couple quarterbacks, whether that be through the portal or the high school ranks, as Ochoa, who is technically our backup right now, more like a third string, because Wiggins, I'm guessing, is not even going to be able to keep his red shirt. But he wants to transfer. Colandrea is a senior, so we'll be left with just one quarterback. So we need to bring in two, maybe even three. Screen pass there goes for a gain of 1. And we're going to get Williams the ball. Finally, a semi-decent block brings us down to probably the half-yard line. And we are going to do a quarterback blast with Dom. Middle should be open here, which it is. It's another touchdown for our freshman quarterback and gives us the lead 14-7. Our defense does force a UCF punt. We get the ball out to Reynolds. 2nd and 5. We are into the 4th quarter as well. We'll get Bo in. I do not know what to do in that situation. 3rd down here. Ideally, we have more than a quarter of a second to throw the ball. We have to punt the ball right back to him. We force another UCF punt. We do get Bo back into the game here. Nice little run up the middle to make it 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3 here. Just going to throw it away with Dom. Great catch there from Reynolds. Just did a possession catch. Good pass from Wiggins, getting the ball out to him on time. And that's really what we need, is more of that. Run up the middle for Bo. He's up to 138 yards on the game. Really, without him, we definitely would not even be in this game. He's the only reason we have a chance to win. Barely fast enough to get away from 11 from the backside. Another first down. We're just going to keep going back to him for now. Get that block from Higdon. Good block up the middle. Huge gain on the ground for Bo. Approaching 200 yards on the ground. And that is 1,000 yards on the season. 1st and 10. Gain of 1. Probably for Camacho here. Actually going to take off with Dom up the middle. And tried to slide. Gets us down to about the 5. Couldn't quite get that slide down. Would have liked to. Going to flip it out to Reynolds. They just read it too well. And Bo's hurt, of course. Might try and get out of the pocket here. Somehow Camacho makes that catch. Pass was a little bit high. That's a huge play for him. Dom put it, I guess, where it needed to be. We do give up a touchdown on the final drive to UCF, but outlast them 28-21. Awful game overall. I did think that Dom Wiggins looked a lot better than Colandrea in this game. We will let Colandrea start the next game, but if we have another performance like the beginning of this one, it might be time to make a permanent change. Stats for this game: Dom Wiggins played really well, 81% completion, did have an interception, I don't remember exactly what it was, but 2 touchdowns, 244 yards. Colandrea threw 2 interceptions, only 61 yards. He didn't even play that much. Bo Jackson, amazing game on the ground, 172 yards. Dom Wiggins did get a touchdown, but also had another fumble. That's going to be an issue with him, it seems like. Cam Williams only got 3 carries, but had a decent game as well. Receiving wise, spread the ball out pretty well. Touchdowns for Camacho. He had an awesome game, a couple really good plays. No drops on the game, which is huge. Irvin had 1 catch for 77 yards and a touchdown. Probably should have had another one. Colandrea just really can't make those throws. TFLs, we had 3. Sack for Adelaide. No interceptions. No forced fumbles. No blocks. No safeties. No touchdowns. So our defense, once again, nothing to write home about. Nothing crazy. But at least I guess they're getting stops, forcing punts. We do land 4-star right tackle Devontae Paris. Should help with our major offensive line problem. It was obviously a huge focus this season, this off season, trying to get our offensive line back into shape. We are officially out on Paul Angel and dropped to 3rd, so we will go ahead and formally remove him from the board. Terrence Muhammad, we may be in trouble. Indiana has decided to really get into the mix of things. They have a lot better pipeline than we do. Our only hope is to outlast them, which we may have a chance. I think they should pass us, and it looks like 2 to hopefully 3. If we can stretch to 4 weeks, we might have a chance. But the sooner he commits, the better. Prince, we're into 2nd. We have a visit scheduled with him. No, we don't. We can't schedule a visit yet, but hopefully if we can get a visit with him, and our cells look like they're decent, even though Nebraska does have a pipeline. We are in a pretty good spot on Joel Forrest. We're going to go ahead and add the 10 extra, as Miami made a pretty good jump last week, but with the visit, hopefully we have a pretty good chance to keep him. We're going to add some points on Gayton. Like I said, we have a lot of points right now, so we are going to just add as much as a cell will be. So once he gets into his top 5, we can just get him committed. Don't really want to decide on any of the linebackers yet. Ball, we're going to do the same thing. We're not going to get him on a visit. I don't think we need to, but we will put 40 points on him. Howden, on the other hand, we have a decent sell for him. Not the best. We actually at least have a pipeline. Oregon has a really good pipeline. Hopefully the visit gives us a chance to get him. Probably don't really have a chance for McLean. Going into this game against Arizona, we do have a visit with Marquez Howden. Should hopefully help us stave off Oregon. We also have a visit with Joel Forrest, which hopefully helps us stave off Miami, along with Terrell Akbar, a contested specialist receiver that we haven't talked about much. Hopefully he might end up playing tight end for us, 6'5", 203. We'll have to take a better look at him. And actually, Tennessee pulled their offer, so we should have a pretty good chance of getting him into the class as well as a 4-star receiver. So we do have, I think, 4 players on campus. 3 players on campus. 2 of them, this game should be able to make a big difference in our second to last game of this season. We do start with the ball here. We are going to start with Colandrea in the game. We're just going to see how it goes. Arizona is 5-5. Should be a fairly easy win for us, I would hope. Get the ball to Jackson on the ground. Our left guard basically opens the door wide open. I said it last season that I was excited for a better offensive line. We were unable to make that a reality. Camacho can't quite hold on. Threw it maybe a touch late, but we have definitely put in the work and the time, and basically our entire recruiting focus this offseason, or this season, has been for the offensive line and a few corners. An Arizona punt gives us the ball right back. Hopefully as we were talking about recruiting, is there's a big run from Jackson up the middle for about 12. Hopefully we are able to fill the rest of the holes we have in this team. We have some good young players. The receivers I am a bit concerned about, but hopefully we're able to fill the rest of the gaps as Colandrea has a lane down the sideline, able to get forward for a gain of 19 yards and a first down. But hopefully we can fill in the gaps on this team through the transfer portal. We do have some good young players. I am a little bit worried about the receiver room. Our defense has been pretty good, and it is pretty young. Defensive line, I do not think we will have a problem unless we have huge transfer problems like we did last season. But it doesn't seem to be the pending situation from who the potential transfers are. It seems like our defense should mostly stick together as we throw the ball behind Higdon there. Going to attempt a 56-yard field goal here at home. Hopefully we got enough. Barely get it over. That's another great kick from our field goal kicker. We are up 3-0. I think that was another Arizona punt. I'll check after this play. As Jackson gets forward for about 8 yards up the middle. Yes, it was an Arizona punt to get us the ball back. 2nd and 2. We'll get the ball to Jackson again here. And at this point, I'm just kind of having a hard time trusting Colandrea. He's had some very, very bad throws. Although he's been pretty solid for most of the season, the bad throws are leaving a bad taste in my mouth as he hits Irvin there for a good little pass. Gets us down to the 5. Brings us down to the 5-yard line. We're going to get Jackson the ball. Bono's touchdowns. Good little cut back inside. That run was supposed to go to the outside, but we saw the little gap up the middle. Juked back in and pick up 7 points, which should give us a 10-0 lead. Arizona drives down the field and gets a touchdown of their own to match. Get a little screen pass, try and get back up the middle a little bit here with Bo. Really just getting hammered all over the place. We're going to look to get him out after that play. Get Cam Williams back in. We should have Reynolds wide open there over the middle. Solid pass. And even if we do maintain the red shirt for Dom Wiggins and let Colandrea finish out this season as our quarterback, I think we saw some good potential in our previous game. I don't know why. No one's guarding Reynolds here. Good throw, good catch there. I think Dom has what it takes. If we would have gotten Paul Angel and been able to bring him in, it may have been a conversation because he looked to be really, really good as the number 2 recruit in the nation. He obviously should be, especially at quarterback. We were unable to do so. We may still look to add more of a veteran presence type quarterback in the portal, and maybe they compete for the job. I just have a hard time thinking it's a defensive tackle falling back into coverage and making that play, which is a bit absurd. Another great field goal, although that is the inherent issue with field goals as we give up the lead to Arizona. We're going to look for Irvin streaking down the field. He does get a step. Not able to catch it. I don't think he quite got separation. That throw was actually fine from Colandrea. We had to rush it a little bit. Once again, our offensive line is a huge issue. I do think if it does come down to it, Dom Wiggins can be our quarterback of the future. For high 90s accuracy, that throw was not good. And just missing opportunities, really, that's the problem. We have a chance to get a first down there. We have a chance to make big plays. And Colandrea just cannot seem to make it happen a lot of the time, for whatever reason. There's a pretty good throw to Reynolds, through with anticipation. The run blocking has been especially bad lately. I'm just going to take off with Colandrea up the middle. Breaks out to about the 50. And he can do a little bit more of that. We haven't done a ton. Our offensive line hasn't been able to hold blocks enough to really see that happen as we try to step up into the pocket there and get absolutely destroyed. A minute left here in the second quarter. Really, we want to try to get into field goal range at least to take a lead going into halftime. How realistic that is, I do not know. 3rd and 13 here. I'm going to run a screen pass. Nothing else has really been open. Should have some decent potential. We do get down to about the 45. 4th and 4 here, we will go for it. 20 seconds left in the half. Could be a huge mistake, but we will have Cameron Williams wide open out to the outside. We're going to call a timeout with 14 seconds left. 14 seconds left here. Goal number 1 is not to throw an interception. End up calling another timeout with 9 seconds left after a little pass to Irvin. Just going to play it safe, run a screen play to Williams. Hopefully we'll let the clock tick down to 3, kick a field goal to end the half, go into halftime with hopefully a 2-point lead. And we miss it. Horrible accuracy there. I totally messed that up. Looks like we forced a 3 and out on Arizona to start this half. We should be up 2. Missed an easy field goal. Maybe not easy, but compared to what we have been making. Gonna get Bo back in the game after this play. Another backside tackler, even though we picked up 5 yards. 2nd and 5. Bo just came into the game, so we're gonna get him a carry. Should have been a loss. Gets us 2 yards. It's going to be a play for Williams out of this set. Man. Coach wants us to go for it here, so we will. Hopefully we can pick up the first down. Good little catch by Quenty. He's going to be gone next season. He didn't really want to be here. We pretty much only got Quenty to come because we offered him a scholarship at the beginning of last season. Then we were pretty much instantly locked out with a playstyle deal breaker. I don't even really know what his playstyle would be. And he ended up committing to us because no one else recruited him. He will probably be entering the transfer portal, I would say almost certainly, because he still has that same playstyle deal breaker. We haven't played him much. He's a freshman with normal development, not too broken up about it. Good run from Bo up the middle. Gets us down to 1st and goal from the 5. Give it back to him here. He somehow finds a way to get a yard. Not sure how we even did that because he kind of sidestepped through a couple defenders. That's finally some decent blocking. Bo knows touchdowns. Another touchdown for him on the ground. Another Arizona punt gets us the ball back. We're now up 19-14 after that last touchdown. Bo fights forward for a gain of 4, which we will get him out after this play. Camacho was wide open, had 0 time to throw. So, to be fair, some of these on Colandrea, you can't really blame him. The missed deep passes, that's 100% on him. But a lot of these other ones, that's a bad drop. A lot of these other ones, it's really just abysmal offensive line play. Had some bad drops just like that one. And yet, somehow, we are still 9-1. To be fair, I don't think we played anyone that great. Probably the best team we played is BYU. Somehow we're able to hang on and beat them. Reynolds makes a good catch there. Jukes back in, gets us down to the 40. And I look at Colandrea almost like a game manager type quarterback. If he can avoid the interceptions, he can actually be pretty decent. When the interceptions start going crazy, that's when we really get into trouble. That's going to be one right there because we got bumped. Tried to throw with anticipation, bumped, turned around the other way. We do give up a field goal on that play. It is now 17-19. Just going to take off up the middle with Colandrea and slide, not quite slide. And we will look to probably try and keep the ball on the ground majority of this drive. That will take us to the 4th quarter. Will not take us to the 4th quarter. We'll have about 2 seconds left. Get the ball on the ground with Bo here. Nice run up the middle. Gets us first down crossing over midfield into scoring territory. We do have a 2-point lead going into the second quarter here. All things considered, our defense has played pretty well. Our offensive woes continue. We should probably be up more in this game, but we've had some mistakes. We've only thrown 1 interception, which for this season is impressive. But really, a blowout win or even a clear win here would be awesome for the 3 visitors that we do have on campus. Not sure. It's obviously not worth risking losing the game, as Arizona is also a lower tier opponent, which I wish they did that more off of the overalls rather than I feel like they do it compared to your win and loss record, because we can beat a lot of good teams, but they all are considered lower tier opponents, so it really hurts our recruiting classes unless you lose games, which also hurts your recruiting class, so it makes it kind of interesting, the dynamic there. Another run for Bo. He's worked us down the field pretty well the last couple plays. Might try this little wide receiver screen to Irvin. Could be a really bad idea, but could really open things up. And we don't get the block. We do complete the pass somehow. And we'll just go to a screen play on the other side. One block there. Bo fights his way in. Bo knows touchdowns once again. We'll have to check on his touchdown total for the season. It should be pretty high, despite being injured a decent amount. We do get the ball back here. I did not see what happened, but we have a 9-point lead. Another touchdown here would be awesome to help seal this one away. Bo fights forward for about 12. We'll get Jones into the game after this play. Bo is a little bit banged up, but he really is a pretty awesome running back. When we are able to go to him semi-consistently, he gets us over 100 yards almost every single game, even with some pretty mediocre to below average offensive line play. So if we can work on maybe his injury stats in the offseason, that might be the best thing to work on for him. 4th and 2 here with a 9-point lead. We're just going to run the ball. If they are able to get the stop, which they are not, Jones makes a nice little run hurdle over the middle. And we'll keep the ball on the ground. See if we can't salt this one away. Get it to Jones here, just keeping the ball on the ground. Falls forward for a gain of about 1. And we'll try another screen pass. Actually going to change this play. I'm going to be looking for Irvin on the little zig, which he's unable to get to. Reynolds dives, can't quite make the catch there. Coach wants us to go for it here, 4th and goal. And really we're looking for Camacho or Reynolds in the back of the end zone, and it's going to be Reynolds, and we do not have time to get the throw off. That's a turnover on downs. Arizona goes down and gets 3. This should be a touchdown here to Irvin. And we underthrow the freaking ball. I do not understand that he was wide open. All you have to do is lead it out there to him, and that's a touchdown all day long. Timeout from Arizona. We're going to try it again here. Irvin's probably going to burn him. We're going to watch the safety. Safety does go back. We're going to hit Higdon over the middle. Great catch. That's a first down. Like we said, a 6-point win is fine. But ideally, we would like to get a clear win, which I think another touchdown should put us in that territory. Good throw to Reynolds. Working to the outside. Gets us down to the 40. That's Arizona's final timeout. Higdon may be open here. Once again, we're mostly just watching the safety. They crash down. We go underneath. I actually said the opposite of what I mean. If they stay back and go back into that deep zone, we throw underneath. If they crash down, we throw up top. Overthrow him. 3rd and 7. Offensive coordinator just wants us to take a knee, which we should maybe do. Higdon comes back, makes a good catch. That's 4th and inches. Gonna get a run play for Jones here. If we do not convert, which we do, could have been really bad. Give them the ball back right there in that situation. Us only up 6. 11 seconds left. It's unlikely that we score a touchdown. We're going to take a sack, and we're just going to end the game there. Stave off the upset bid by Arizona. Colandrea had a fine game, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Probably should have thrown another one. I just don't know if the deep pass is going to be there for him. Bo Jackson had another awesome game. Reason we won, 2 touchdowns, 149 yards on the ground. Cam Williams added 32 and Jones 17. Through the air, Reynolds had 77 yards. Bo caught the only passing touchdown. Other than that, it was kind of a slow game for everyone. Camacho only had 3 yards through the air. Defensively, 2 TFLs for Shields. Strong had 1. Patterson had 1. Adelaide had 1. No sacks. No interceptions. No forced fumbles. So once again, our defense is not really filling up the stat sheet. I don't really know what the problem is. I don't know what we need to do differently for this defense. Like I said, we're winning games. They're holding teams to fairly low scores, getting stops, forcing punts. We're just not getting defensive stats, which obviously doesn't help with progression or development either. Recruiting update, Akbar had a pretty good visit, +4 there. I think we're just going to leave the send the house on him. No one else even has an offer so far. We're in a pretty good spot on Gregory Harris as well, 5'11", elusive route runner. His cell, C+, F, B+, we're just going to leave the 50 on him as well, so Indiana may pass us on him. Mohammed is going to be tough. I have a feeling we're going to lose out on this one. We're going to stay in it at this point. Prince, we're getting close. We're finally able to hard sell him, which is probably going to be our only shot. 1 week away from getting him on a visit would have been nice this week against Nevada. Fortunately, we just weren't quite able to get there. Forrest had a pretty good visit, and that should hopefully give us the leverage to get him into the class. It looks like we edged out Miami, but we have a big enough lead. We should be able to get him committed after this game. Gayton, we're in a really good spot. We're going to finally be able to hard sell him. We are first on both of these Mike linebackers, which we have not put any points on. LaFell, we're not going to get, so we're just going to take him off. Ball, we should get committed pretty soon. We're going to add this last 5 on him. And then Howden, we were so close with the visit. If we would have had a clear win or anything else with 1 more point, we probably would have got him. We may still have enough of a lead. He is on USC's campus this week, but I think we have a big enough lead on them. It's going to be close. Whether we get him or not. Final game here of season 2, at least the regular season, is against Nevada. They should be honestly one of the easier teams that we've played against. We hit Laster there for a nice little throw underneath. We do start with the ball. Second play, we're going to run up the middle with Bo. Gets us a first down. Run a little play action pass here. See if our line can hold up a little bit better. Make a good throw to Reynolds. He got a little bit hung up. We barely got it over Burleson, that linebacker. But able to make the completion. And this game should be almost more of a tune-up game. It is a rivalry game, so it's unfortunate. I don't know if we have anyone on a visit this week. I don't believe so. So that is a bit of a missed opportunity, because you get more points for rivalry visits. I'm going to get Bo out after that play. He's a bit banged up. We're going to have Irvin wide open. Gets his toes in. That's going to be 1st and goal. That was a pretty good play. Pretty good throw by Colandrea. Although I will say it was probably a bit underthrown. It should have been a touchdown if he could have gotten it out in front. Run up the middle for minimal gain there. I'm going to give it to Williams again. See if he can punch it in here. Hurdles over the middle. That's a touchdown on the ground for Williams. Should give us a 7-point lead. We get the ball back after a Nevada punt. Gain of 4 for Williams on the ground. Just going to end up running here. Those 2 guys are pretty much running in tandem, both of our receivers. So there's 1 guy guarding both of them, which is not awesome. Ball back on the ground with Williams. Make a little cut back up the middle. Gain of 7. Irvin Jr. may be open on this play. Once again, 92 speed is nothing crazy. It's fine. But 92 speed is our main deep threat. That's something we do need to work on in the offseason, is get a better speedster receiver, at least with more speed, because that really tends to be what we use that outside number one receiver for, is the deep plays, getting the ball deep down the field. We're going to hit Reynolds there, works open onto the sideline, good throw on the run, get the ball to Williams again, backside tackle, a little play action play here, and we're going to take a sack. That's going to be 3rd and 20. 3rd and 20. Nothing. We're actually going to attempt a 60-yard field goal here. And we're going to miss it badly. Probably a little bit out of our capability. One more season with our kicker to get some upgrades should make it so that might actually be possible. To get Bo Jackson back in the game. Gain of about 3. Big play potential here. Going to see if Irvin can beat everyone down the field. Huge throw from Colandrea. That is a completion. Massive play there. I'm not sure how he even got the ball that far with his not so great arm strength. But if he could make a play like that every time we need it, that's kind of the type of play that can win us some ball games that we should not have lost. The one loss of the season, if he can make a couple throws of that caliber, which that's an amazing throw, of course. Bo gets in for 7 Bono's touchdowns and cleans up that drive. Huge pass on the play and gives us a 14-point lead. Get the ball back here, deep in our own territory. And really, we're kind of just playing loose and easy this game. Probably try to hit Irvin again, deep down the field. We're just going to have Higdon wide open. Stays in bounds to get the first down. Sometimes these are the kind of get-right games that you need. Can't get away there. Got hung up on the offensive line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 14 after another sack. Higdon is open, able to come back and make the catch. That's an example of the throws that I don't like that Colandrea makes quite frequently behind the receiver. Luckily, we were able to take control of Higdon there and bring him back as Bo has a big run up the middle for a gain of about 15. Play action pass here. Gonna hit Reynolds coming across the middle. Once again, maybe a bit underthrown, but that's a spot where it actually works. Colandrea over the middle. Nevada's defenders just really aren't able to keep up with our guys. And I do have a feeling that off-season points, almost every single one for Camacho is going to go right into speed. Keep the ball on the ground here with Bo. It's going to get us a first down. It's going to be another offensive line injury. We aren't guarding Quinty, but I want to keep the ball on the ground. Although that block shed was abysmal. Thought we could get it to Reynolds there. He got a little bit bumped and then couldn't quite recover. He still seemed open. We just couldn't quite get it out in front of him enough. He does make that catch and a broken tackle. Fights forward, breaks another tackle, and that's a first down. Huge play from Reynolds there. See if we can punch it in with Bo. Because if there's one thing we know about Bo, is that Bo knows touchdowns. 21-0 lead. We simmed the last 2 possessions. We got a field goal on 2 of them. Must have had to punt. There's another touchdown for our offense. Nevada finally gets a touchdown of their own. We get another field goal up 37-7. We're into the 4th quarter, 44-7, and that is the ball game. We'll take a look at the stats. Didn't really want to play the rest of that one. Just kind of let the sim engine run the rest of that game. We had a commanding lead through the first half, first quarter really, and we'll take a look at the stats here. You can see we scored in every quarter pretty successfully. We gave up 1 touchdown. Colandrea did not throw an interception, had a touchdown through the air and 368 yards. A really good game for him. Bo had 134 on the ground with 3 touchdowns. Williams picked up a touchdown on the ground as well. Receiving wise, Camacho had 141 yards, so he played really good in the sim. A touchdown, 7 receptions. Reynolds, 6, didn't get a touchdown. Higdon had 55 yards, and Irvin, of course, had 87 with that long of 59. Camacho had an 83-yard reception in the sim, which, once again, 86 speed. Don't know how he's doing that, but that's pretty awesome. Defensively, this is a chance for us to have a bit of a better game. Zach Chapman, 2 TFLs, 1 for Eubanks, Forrest, Adelaide, Patterson, Epinesa, and Quentin Taylor. 1 whole sack by Zach Chapman. No interceptions. No forced fumbles. Even against Nevada, our defense doesn't do anything flashy. We hold them to 7 points, but not really getting to the quarterback. Not really making big plays, just kind of a mediocre defense across the board. We will be playing in the Big 12 championship against TCU, and we are back up to the number 5 team in the country. So regardless of the outcome of this game, we should be in the college football playoff, where we're probably going to get demolished. Hopefully we can win the Big 12 our first year here. Recruiting wise, we're up to first on George Gono, who would just be a backup quarterback. We have a couple other options if that does not work out. We have a really good lead with Akbar. Gregory Harris, we are maintaining our lead, but I have a feeling Indiana may just catch us. Terrence Muhammad is going to be tough to keep this lead on, although Indiana looks like they are not gaining quite as much as they were, so we might outlast them there. Trevor Prince, we're kind of just staying neck and neck with Nebraska. Maybe an off-season visit gives us the edge, although that pipeline they have might let them win out. We are in a recruiting battle with Miami, which looks like we will be losing for Dwell Forest. Should be able to get Gayton. Ball should commit after this next sim. We are in another recruiting battle for Marquez Howden. It's going to be close. We probably lose this one as well. And then we're in a pretty decent spot for Nelson Quale. We do get the commitment of Emeka Ball as expected, 3-star corner, and we lose pretty much everyone else. We'll take a look at it here in a second. We lose both the recruiting battles, which I had a feeling that would happen. Probably going to get passed up on Gregory Harris. We may as well try the cells, because if we stay with what we're doing, which I'm not sure, that's not a very good sell. We stay with what we're doing, we lose him for sure. Terrence Muhammad is going to be really close. I think we can get him, though. Trevor Prince, it's really just going to come down to if we can get an off-season visit. We lose out on Joel Forrest, which is a bad one. We had a big lead on him most of the season. Gayton we should get. Gono, for some reason Ohio State's in on, which he's a junior out of JUCO. Don't really care too much about him. Might put some points on these Mike linebackers. Got all 3 corners we wanted. We lose out on Howden. He has coach prestige, so there's no chance of a flip there. We will also be firing our offensive coordinator. We kind of had that plan going in that we were only going to keep him around for 1 season. At end of season stats here before the Big 12 championship, Colandrea, 22 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Very mediocre season, 2,829 yards. I'll actually be interested to compare that from last season. So you can see he had about 1,000 yards less, 10 less touchdowns, and 1 more interception. So he finished off the year last year not amazing anyway. Wiggins was okay in the little bit that he played, was able to maintain his red shirt and play in 4 games total. Ochoa obviously we know is going to be gone and was kind of a super backup option anyway. Rushing wise, Bo was able to get up to 1,300 yards. He averaged 6 yards a carry, which is awesome. 16 touchdowns on the ground. Add another 9 for Cameron Williams. So between these two, we had a really good rushing attack. And Darian Jones really held his own as well. We only got Trevor Moon into 1 game. Feel like he needs a decent amount of development. So hopefully this offseason we can get him going a little bit as well to add into the mix. Receiving wise, we had Reynolds with 800 yards. Irvin had 660 on only 19 receptions. 613 for Camacho, 535 for Hayden. So really these top 4 guys, we got it spread around quite a bit. 5 receiving touchdowns, 6 for Camacho, 7 for Irvin, 4 for Reynolds, and then another 3 through the air for Bo Jackson as well. So pretty successful season as far as spreading the ball around. Obviously, we look to our tight end a lot, and Reynolds played really well. He is a senior, so he will be gone after this season regardless. Irvin is a junior and looks like he does not plan on transferring, so we should be able to keep him around. Camacho should be around, and he has a star development, so we should be able to progress him quite well. Higdon, I really wish would have better than normal development, but he might just be kind of stuck where he's at. This is an interesting one. Blocking wise, Ace Robinson, our starting right tackle, gave up 8 sacks, 5 for our center, which those I think are our 2 noticeably worst linemen throughout the season. Defensively, Jordan Eubanks led the way with 67 tackles, and then our starting strong safety in Terrell Brewington. TFLs, 11 for Adelaide, 9 for Patterson, 8 for Epinesa. Sacks was a weird year, 4.5 for Epinesa, 3 for Hall, 2.5 for Adelaide. Isaiah Patterson had 2. Carlos Coates ended up with only 2, only ended up getting 10 total tackles and 5 TFLs. Started out the season pretty good, and then just kind of not sure what happened. Hopefully we can have a big off season with him. 3 interceptions for Powdrill, who was really our best corner. He is a senior. Quentin Taylor is only a redshirt sophomore, so he should be back, and he's all right, along with a couple of the guys we picked up in the from the freshman class. Touchdowns, we're not able to get any. Forced only 2 fumbles on the season and didn't recover either of them. Didn't block any kicks, no safeties. So defense was all right. For our kicker, Carter Jula, who is a redshirt freshman, he did miss 3 field goals, was able to make a 57-yarder. One of the ones he missed was 60 yards. Only missed 1 extra point. You can see here, as far as field goals made over 50, he only missed 1. So he missed 2 in the 39 to 49 range. Remember that 46-yarder we missed. And then we had Casey Bell doing the kickoffs. Punting was, I guess it is what it is. Kick returns, no touchdowns. We had Rashawn Jackson, who's a receiver that doesn't really play, doing most of those, all along with Cameron Williams. Punt returns, no touchdowns, and that is our season. We will conclude this episode. We went 11-1. Only loss was a very, very horrible game against Kansas State. We only lost by 3, and we played about as bad as you can play. We did narrowly beat UCF and Arizona before taking care of business with Nevada. We kind of fell apart in this stretch of games here after beating Cincinnati pretty good. BYU was a close game. They ended up being a good team. Baylor we beat pretty easily. They ended up going 10-2. Akron somehow went 10-2. Obviously they play a lot lower competition, but I have a feeling we will not have this easy of a schedule in the Big 12 in the future. We didn't play really any of this really good teams. That being said, we will start the next episode. We will do both the conference championship, any bowl games, and the off season all together. Look forward to it. If you missed the last seasons, the last episodes, go and catch those previously on the channel, and hope you guys have a great day.